Good morning, folks. It's Captain Freddy, and looky here, it's little Joy. Oh, say hello to the people. Yes. Isn't she sweet? Oh, she just loves kisses. Well, folks, as I said in my previous video, I was living down in Longbeach in my RV and having some interesting times down there. Well, I started working at a place with the inner city kids, gang kids, 8 to 13, and excuse me, and I just loved it. These kids were extra special. Their dads were mostly incarcerated, and they'd been in gangs. You know, grandfather, father, them, and most of them had been into some serious problems. And this was my first time ever working with kids like this. I had been a Boy Scout in the Boy Scouts before, Scoutmaster, and so anyway, started working with them, and it was going great. We did a lot of activities, you know, and they're inner city kids, never been out of the barrio, so to speak, and so I took them up to Longbeach, and I took them out on a whale watching boat, me and another parent. I didn't have any kids, but I mean, the parent had kids. He wasn't in gangs or anything and stuff, but he wanted to work with kids like that. Anyway, so this one kid that was extra special to me, he was 8 years old, and well, as we were waiting for the boat to take us out, we had about an hour wait or something like that. Anyway, he made a rap right on the spot, right there, that talked about going on the whale watch with me, Captain Freddy. It was so special. I mean, for him to come up with that rap just on the top of his head about our excursion, it was just precious. Oh, it touched my heart. I was almost in tears there. Anyway, so we go out on the whale watch, and these kids have never been outside of, like I said, the inner city, and they had the time of their lives. We went out by Catalina Island, about halfway there, and we saw whales. Oh, it was just, it was one of those magic moments. And so that trip went really well and stuff, and I kept working with these kids, and couple months later, this is going to be hard for me to talk about and stuff, about breaking up, even though this has been, that was 1990. Anyway, the 8-year-old kid left the program and got back in the gangs and got shot. I'm gonna stop here. Excuse me. Anyway, that broke my heart. Just tore me up. I just couldn't take it. I went into a deep depression. I sold the RV and boat, kept the pickup truck. It had a little camper shell on it, and I just took off. I mean, I was just broken. And I had a friend in Spokane, Washington that I was going to go up to and visit. And so I started on my journey and went through Astoria, Oregon. That's just a really, really beautiful town. Anyway, so I got out of Astoria and was heading towards Spokane and hit some snow. And so I called my friend up. I stayed overnight at a motel. Called my friend up, and he said there was a blizzard. They had like 5 inches of snow on the ground. Well, I grew up in the snow in Indiana when I was in my teens and early 20s, and there is no way I was gonna live in that again. Just no fun whatsoever. I mean, snow is beautiful to look at, play at for a little while, but then it gets to be a drag. Anyway, so I backtracked to Astoria because it was so beautiful, and Warrington, which is a little town next to it, excuse me, on the Columbia River there, I found a little trailer to rent in an RV park. So I started there, and I got a job at KOA campgrounds. It was a really fun job. I drove an Army deuce and a half big truck, took people from the KOA campgrounds and on the different places on this Fort Stevens, this really old, it was built back, I think it was like in the Civil War days and stuff, and used it in World War II, and just a really big place. And so we'd take them through that, and then there was a beach access from there, and I would drive on the beach with them. And that was a really fun job. I mean, gosh, that was a fun job. Anyway, so it came about that I love boats, and I was at the marina there and got to know some people that lived on some boats there, and I decided that's what I wanted to do, was to live on a boat. So I went to Portland, Oregon. I was checking out all over the place for the kind of boat I wanted. A small cabin cruiser, 25 to 30 foot. Anyway, so this boat place in Portland, Oregon, I found this 1960 safety craft boat. It was 30 foot. It was steel hull, and beautiful mahogany inside. Oh, it was just gorgeous. And so I decided I would buy it and stuff. I traded my pickup and some cash, and now that's a whole other experience going down the Columbia River. I, went from a ski boat, 18.5 foot, to this 30-foot cabin cruiser, and on a world-famous Columbia River, which the big ships go on and stuff. And I had never experienced that before. So before I left Portland and stuff, I got myself a river atlas, that gives you all the waypoints and depths and all this navigational aid, and started on my adventures on that, which that's another video right there. Anyway, so that's how I got into the Astoria, Warrington area. There's going to be some really good videos about that, because I went through some experiences on the job there at KOA and on that river cruise going down the Columbia River. Anyway, but for now, I'd sign off to get this uploaded. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye.